What's up, everybody? Damian Brown with Remax Ocean Point. Look, got quite a few questions coming in through Instagram, through Facebook, etc. And although I've answered them individually, I thought it might be interesting to share some of those questions. You might be able to get some value from it. And hey, why not, right? So sharing's caring. Let's get started. Can your home depreciate in value? The short answer is yes. The long answer is, in most cases, it's quite negligible. There are some determining factors though that really make a pretty large difference with regards to the value of your home, and that's typically the externalities. So what I mean by that is, parks, schools, shops, these kind of things. If you're interested in sort of figuring out maybe where the direction of your local community is going, there's something called the OCP, the Official Community Plan, which might be worth referencing or at least having a look at either before you purchase, while you're owned, so you get a kind of an idea of the projection of where things are going. One of my favorite ways is kind of getting ahead of that and sort of seeing, like, if you start seeing Whole Foods, IGAs, Starbucks, these kind of big shops, or schools, these kind of things, projects going in that are going to bring a lot of regular jobs to the area, that's really important in terms of getting some capital appreciation. I think that's something to look at. Is an older home as good of value as a new one? I think in many cases you have more of an opportunity for capital appreciation in an older home versus newer home. But just as importantly to that is that externality factor, the surroundings and so forth. So it's something to keep in mind, but I would say generally speaking, you're gonna have a better opportunity to get more capital appreciation on an older home, especially if you're putting in the TLC that's typically necessary to get it to where you might like it to be to trade at a higher value. Do I have to sell to the person with the highest offer? It's a good question, something to think about, right? Fact is, you don't. You just don't. You can sell someone with a lower offer, better terms. It doesn't really matter. It's all your choice. Can I back out of a contract with one buyer and accept a new and higher offer from a second buyer? Look, I guess technically you could, but if you want to sleep at night, probably not a very good idea. So yeah, I would just keep that as a no. How should I price my home? So this is a long answer to the question, I suppose, but I typically look at it in a few different ways, typically three ways. One, you can price it at the upper limit of market values, because generally you don't get too many homes that sell above that. I mean, you could even just kind of inch it a little bit further than that. You can sell at market value or below market value. What I would advise before any of this is definitely talking to your realtor, because they will know best for specifically what's going to work for your situation. So if you're looking for that needle in the haystack buyer, there's got to be some things that you're kind of taking into consideration. It's likely going to take longer to turn over the home. It's likely going to cost more money to attract that buyer. There's going to be a lot more, there potentially could be a lot more compromises when it comes down to the finalities of the contract. Second is pricing it, at market value, getting as much eyes, as much attention, and as much exposure for your property as possible, and hope that it turns over quite quickly, allowing you freedom to be able to move, depending on depending what the market's doing too, right? If the market's moving quickly, slowly, a lot of these things will factor in. That's why you need to talk to a realtor about it. Don't forget that. And pricing your home slightly at the at the lower end of market values, in the hopes that you might get, again, a bit of a bidding war, people coming in and really driving that price up and creating sort of more demand, if you will. Now, having said that, like I said, those are three different sort of generalities when we talk about pricing the home. Definitely best to speak with your realtor. Of course, I'd be happy to have that conversation with you. Just got to reach out. So look, there's a lot more questions. I'll save that for another video, but I thought it might be interesting in changing the format a little bit and kind of get an idea of what the questions are asking. So if you have a question you might want to ask me, feel free to, DM me or post it below. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Ciao.